They tried to cool her off. They tried to say it was hype. They said the league would figure her out. They said the attention would fade. They said the spotlight would shrink. Instead, it just got brighter. Because now, Caitlin Clark isn't just breaking defensive schemes. She's breaking business ceilings. And her new reported $50 million Gatorade move just sent a message so loud, even her loudest critics went quiet. You can debate shooting percentages. You can argue about turnovers. You can nitpick rookie adjustments. But you cannot deny this. Caitlin Clark has changed the economic gravity around women's basketball. And this latest partnership proves it. Let's be clear about what this represents. This isn't just a brand deal. This isn't just another athlete holding a bottle in a commercial. This is infrastructure-level influence. When a global powerhouse like Gatorade aligns long-term with a player at this scale, it's not about trends.
Surprise!
Tyrese!
What's up, y'all? It's Tyrese here to surprise my girl, Caitlin. Gatorade has brought back her favorite flavor, Rainberry, now with lower sugar.
Rainberry, best Gatorade flavor that's ever been invented right here.
Try it and tell me if it tastes the same.
Even better than I remember. It's not even close.
And it's got your face on it.
It's about trajectory. And the trajectory says she's not slowing down. For months, critics insisted that Clark's attention spike was temporary. That the ratings bump would normalize. That defensive adjustments would humble her. That the marketing machine would pivot to someone else. Instead, the machine doubled down. Because numbers don't lie. Arena sellouts followed her. Road crowds surged when she visited. Television ratings spiked in markets that historically ignored regular season games. Brands noticed that. Executives noticed that. And Gatorade didn't just notice. They invested. A $50 million level commitment doesn't happen out of sentiment. It happens because internal projections say something powerful. This athlete isn't a moment. She's a movement. Clark's appeal stretches beyond basketball diehards. She crosses demographic lines. Casual viewers tune in just to see what happens next. Kids mimic her deep-range pull-ups in driveways. College fans who followed her now track pro box scores. That kind of crossover matters in boardrooms. And that's why this deal lands differently. It signals permanence. It says she isn't just marketable during a rookie honeymoon phase. She's foundational. Critics who once dismissed the hype now face a hard reality. Corporate America doesn't invest at that level in flukes. They invest in faces that can carry campaigns for years. And Clark's brand aligns perfectly with Gatorade's identity. Relentless. Competitive. Unapologetic. She doesn't shrink from pressure. She leans into it. That edge translates off the court. Watch her interviews. There's a calm defiance there. A belief that borders on inevitability. She expects scrutiny. She expects traps. She expects noise. And she thrives anyway. That mentality sells. But it also inspires. That's the key difference. Some athletes attract attention. Others shift culture. Clark is doing both. This deal also sends a broader message about the WNBA's commercial evolution. The league has been growing steadily. Expansion conversations are louder. Media rights discussions are intensifying. Sponsorship pipelines are expanding. Clark's presence accelerated all of it. Her economic ripple effect forced networks to recalibrate. Forced brands to rethink allocation. Forced executives to reconsider ceilings. And now this partnership cements something critics tried to deny. Her value isn't speculative. It's measurable. There's another layer here that matters. Longevity. A deal of this magnitude isn't structured around one season. It's built around brand building cycles. Campaign arcs. Youth outreach. International expansion. That suggests long-term faith. Faith that Clark's influence won't plateau. Faith that her relevance won't depend solely on stat lines. Because relevance at this level becomes narrative-driven. Every playoff run, every rivalry game, every headline moment. It feeds the ecosystem. Haters often argue that attention doesn't equal greatness. Fair. But attention plus sustained performance plus corporate confidence? That's power. And this move just amplified it. Let's talk psychology. When an athlete secures a major endorsement at this scale, it does something internally. It validates grind. It affirms risk. It quiets doubt. Clark has faced more scrutiny in her first professional season than most players experience in 5 years. Every missed shot becomes a debate segment. Every gesture becomes discourse. Every interaction becomes dissected. To navigate that and still command this level of brand commitment? That's composure. That's resilience. And it makes her even more dangerous on the court. Because when distractions fail to derail you, they fuel you. Opposing fans once booed to rattle her. Now they're watching her sign generational contracts. That shift changes tone. It changes energy. It forces recalibration. And for young players entering the league, this deal represents possibility. It expands what's financially imaginable. For decades, endorsement gaps between men's and women's sports were framed as inevitabilities. Clark's trajectory challenges that narrative. When the market responds this aggressively, it forces comparison. It forces equity conversations. It forces investment shifts that's bigger than one athlete. But she's the catalyst. Some critics will say money doesn't win championships. True. But influence reshapes ecosystems. And reshaped ecosystems create new competitive realities. The WNBA is entering an era where star power and business power intertwine more visibly than ever before. Clark stands at that intersection. This deal also silences a specific criticism, that her impact was media manufactured. If that were true, brand longevity would hesitate. Instead, brands escalated. Because consumer response backed the numbers. Jersey sales. Social engagement. Ticket resale spikes. Merchandise demand. Those metrics aren't fictional. They're financial. And Gatorade aligned accordingly. There's symbolism here too. Gatorade has historically partnered with athletes who redefine eras. Faces that transcend sport. Names that become shorthand for competitive intensity. Aligning Clark with that lineage places her in rare air. Not just as a scorer, but as a symbol. And symbols are hard to silence. The backlash cycle surrounding her has been loud at times. Debates about favoritism. Debates about coverage balance. Debates about respect within the league. This deal cuts through all of it. Because corporate investment often follows clarity. And the clarity is this. She moves markets. She moves conversations. She moves product. That trifecta isn't accidental. It's cultivated. Clark didn't arrive in the league timid. She arrived with range that stretched defenses to uncomfortable places. With confidence that challenged veterans. With a competitive aura that invited confrontation. That style is polarizing. But polarization drives attention. And attention, when sustained, becomes currency. This partnership monetizes that currency. It also reinforces something subtle but important. Clark isn't retreating from expectations. She's expanding them. Instead of minimizing her profile to quiet critics, she's leaning into it. Accepting major deals. Embracing spotlight roles. Positioning herself as a face of modern basketball culture. That confidence resonates with younger audiences. They don't want quiet stars. They want visible ones. And Clark understands modern visibility. The timing of this announcement amplifies its impact. The league is at a growth inflection point. Media rights negotiations loom. Expansion markets are being evaluated. Corporate sponsors are assessing return on investment. A headline like this strengthens negotiation leverage across the board. Because when one player commands $50 million level endorsement attention, it reframes valuation discussions. It reframes what's possible. And it reframes who sets the ceiling. Critics can debate style. They can debate efficiency. But they can't debate trajectory anymore. Because trajectory is now contractually reinforced. Clark's journey is no longer just about rookie adjustments or sophomore leaps. It's about legacy infrastructure. About building a platform that outlives seasons. And this deal accelerates that. For the haters who insisted she'd cool off, the silence now is telling. Not because debate vanished, but because the narrative shifted. From "is she overhyped?" to "she's reshaping the business." That's a different conversation. And it's harder to argue against spreadsheets. In the end, this isn't just about money. It's about validation. Validation that her impact wasn't accidental. Validation that her brand power isn't temporary. Validation that women's basketball has entered a commercial phase many predicted but few accelerated. Clark didn't just benefit from the moment. She expanded it. And this Gatorade move proves something undeniable. They can't stop her. Not with traps. Not with headlines. Not with doubt. Because when performance meets influence meets investment, momentum compounds. And compounded momentum? That's unstoppable.